Once, I was doing what I'm best at, being a bookworm, sitting in a corner, with a book dug into my glasses, and I was so amazed with the whole plot of the book, because an insignificant character was responsible for a whole plot twist, when I heard the following. Darling, what do you think about reading something useful, something as a historical book, a scientific book, a knowledge book? I used to do that when I was your age. Then the world kind of stopped, as well as the book, the insignificant character, and wasn't my reading useful? That thought chased me for the following days, and after and after and after. When I finished the book, the whole tension was solved. So, aren't literature books relevant? Aren't they relevant to form a teen's mind? To answer the question, I started to think why a knowledge book, a scientific book, would be relevant, why a literature book would be relevant, and why one would be more relevant than the other. Consequently, I started to think about the word knowledge. Knowledge, according to the American philosophers John Gricko and Ernest Sosa, is a highly valued state in which a person is in cognitive contact with reality. It is, therefore, a relation. Basically, a relation between me and the reality I'm in touch with. And with this, I understood that I was looking for the difference and greater relevance between informative books and literature books. So, what are informative books to start with? Why should I, a teenager, a child, read them? So, I started to think about the word information also. That, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, is a collection of facts, meaning something that you know is true, exists, or has happened, gathered from many places. So, I should read it because I need to know information. I need to know, for example, how to do a calculation, because that information will be crucial for my development as a member of society. Because, for instance, when I become an architect, I need to know how to do the calculation in order to plan a building. So the answer is, I need to know informative book. I need to read an informative book so that I get to know factual and conceptual information so that I can apply this into other areas. Okay. So looking at the other side of the coin, why should I, a teenager, a child, read literature books? What are literature books to start with? Literature books are the exploration of the imaginary, the different sensitives, values and behaviors through which a society expresses and symbolic discusses its impulses, its desires, its utopias. Literature books are so ample that they can be playfulness, fantasy, questioning. Literature can endow the modern man with a vision that takes him beyond the constraints of everyday life, as it takes him beyond the comfort zone. We should read it. Teenagers should read it, because the ampleness and different ways of interpretation can nurture a child's need for answers, and a place to insert their perceptions, meanings, and knowledge. It can give suggestions of future dreams, desires, professions, ethics, way of acting, teach us how to understand emotions, something so complex, life problems, and the whole complexity of life in general, just by reading a book. So, returning to my situation, when I was there, sitting in a corner, being a bookworm, I was doing something useful. While that insignificant character was responsible for a huge plot twist, I had the opportunity to learn how the build-up of many simple, continuous, and insignificant sequence of events can change a whole story, how it can cause a revolution. Then, I can have the opportunity to think how many revolutions are being built up right now and ask myself why. So, I get to the point where I discovered that while reading a literature book, I totally acquired knowledge. I totally discovered and was in touch with a portion of reality, as well as I would if I read an informative book. But we do have a difference, because once Benjamin Franklin said, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I will remember, involve me and I learn." If someone told me the concept of revolution, I would forget. Someone taught me, perhaps I would remember. But if someone involves me with a whole plot, a whole story based in that simple concept, I'll definitely learn. Therefore, literature books are important for me. Thank you for the attention.